Shawn the bee guy here today. Going to be going into a hive, the White Hive. I call it White Hive because the first box is white. My blue hive is the one with the box, bottom box is blue. I'm going to go in today. About a week ago I put the second brood chamber on this hive. We had a little bit of a cold spell down into the even 40s. So I'm hoping, I can see they're very active today. I'm hoping to see if they've expanded up into it a little bit, see what's going on. So let's get going. All right. I can tell the bees are excited. They're in there. They don't seem to mind when I go in. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, not too many on the top. I am getting a little excess moisture, but we've had a lot of rain recently. Got a little bit of mold. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that a little bit, see what's going on inside as well. May have to see if I did change the ventilation on the front, give it a little bit more access for the bees to come and go, also for ventilation. Hopefully that'll help to tame some of that. If you look here, right in the top of this hive, they're already on these frames, and I'll show you that quickly. Without taking the box off, they are already in that upper section of the hive. So I'm going to go through the upper section and I'm going to go down into the lower section and see what's going on. So I'm going to see here a little bit. Get the top off. Yeah, they're definitely active up in here. A little bit of burr comb. I'm not even going to do anything about that. Just a little bit. A few bees up here. Nothing crazy. There you go. Looking good. Lots of activity. That's what we like to see. All right. So they're in the top here. I'm going to go quickly across from one side to the other. I don't imagine there's going to be a lot in these frames. Looks like a couple in the middle have some activity. But see what we're going to see. Whoa, quite a few bees on the bottom there. They're not really doing anything. Little chain of bees. I'm going to tap them down inside. They're not really going. I'll let them go. They won't go too far. All right. They're definitely up in this section, which is good. A little bit of burr comb on the bottom, but nothing too exciting. I also plan to feed them today. They are definitely definitely probably going to be hungry. I don't think there's going to be much food in these because it's been a week since I've been in there just because of the weather. I did not want to go in because it was too cold. We only got up maybe to 50 for almost a week. So, a little more burr comb. They're just starting a little bit of honeycomb here in this section, that white on the black frame. I want to just step to your right. They're working just a little bit on there too, which is good. I'm not going to worry about the burr comb. Oh, the next frame we're going to like. Just shows you how much they're progressing. Lots of comb coming here. Even some nectar in there. It's very hard to see, just a little bit in the bottom of some of these cells. Not a lot. Again, on this side, still we have some pollen. The pollen is right here. It's the darker yellow, and then some nectar. They are definitely busy little bees. Another nice frame. There are eggs in here, so the queen has been on this. It's hard to see them, but there are eggs in this in the bottom of these cells.
The eggs are the little white dots, right, Shawn, the bee guy?
Yes, the eggs are those little white dots. Hopefully you can see them in there. Great. Oops. Watch the bees. Comb is coming along. They are definitely expanding. Everything's looking really good here. I'm excited. Progressing very well. Lots of bees, lots of activity. A little bit of pollen. Nothing going on there. That's okay. Just going to go quickly through this. There is a little bit of burr comb between the two sections. I may, when I get down in there and pull off the upper box and go into the lower box, I might have to clean some of that up. It's causing a little problems. There's a little activity, but nothing crazy. And really nothing in the rest of those frames. So I'm going to push all these back. I like to keep these in the same order. Some people say you can mix them up. Some people say keep them the same. I'm trying to keep them in the same order. Okay, just don't want to confuse the bees. When I put these back in, I'll arrange these just with the same spacing. I'm going to pull this, well, let's pry this here first. I don't just want to pull this upper brood chamber off without prying it and then sliding it, like twisting it a little bit. Problem is, the lower frames could be attached. Okay, I'm going to pry the upper box off, the upper brood chamber off. I'm going to pry it and then I'm going to twist it just in case any of the propolis or the burr comb is attached to any of those frames that are on the lower section. I don't want to pull those frames out. So you kind of want to twist. It came free. Just going to lift this up and set it right next to it on my stand. Oh, look at that, lots of bees. All right, I am going to squirt a little bit of smoke in. All right, so I pried the upper chamber off, the second brood chamber. I'm down into the main first brood chamber, and I've taken away some of the burr comb. They've been putting a lot of burr comb in here, so put it into a tray. Don't want to leave it around. I'll take it back in, put it in the house. Lots of activity down here. I'm going to spray a little bit, push those bees down in a little bit, just get them off the top. That's good. All right. And all right, I'm just going to pull one or two of these out of the center. I can see they're active and they are doing well. Okay. The bees are very active. This is all open brood, meaning there were eggs in there, and then larvae, and then captive brood, and this is captive brood here. That means there's larvae turning into bees, and all this is, well, it was captive brood, and now it's little bees. And now the queen has been in there, and she has pretty much filled those up with new small eggs, which is very exciting. The other side is the same thing. Honey on the corners, a little bit of pollen down below. It's perfect. What that honey is and the pollen is in there is when the new bees hatch and they come out, they actually pop out of those, chew their way out of the cells. They're very hungry, and what they do is they start to eat the food that's closest to them. So when they come out, they're going to start to eat all that pollen and some of the nectar and honey that's there, and then then they'll start to be active and be part of the hive and part of the community. I'm just going to pull out one or two more frames, and that's about it for the lower section, and then I'm going to fill it up There's very little sugar water in there. They're using it, especially on these past few days. It's been very cold, at least for this time of year. They were building a lot of wax, so which is good. Woo-wee! Lots of bees coming out of there. Come on, go back. Yeah. All right. So very exciting. This is almost entirely capped brood. Little bit of honey at the corners, little bit of nectar. Absolutely gorgeous. And this side, same thing. So we are going to have a lot more new bees in here. I see open brood, and I'm sure there's eggs in there. I don't see the queen, but I'm not too excited. I'm not going to go anymore. I know that the queen is in here. I see fresh eggs. That's all that I need to see. There are definitely more bees in here than when we started. I can see that there's more. A spider in there. I'm sure that the bees would take care of him, but I took care of it. All right, I'm gonna fill it up with a little sugar water. And then I can get this hive back together again, and so they're not disturbed. My hive feeder, the feeder I have in there will hold a gallon of sugar water. So when I try and give them as much as I can, but it's almost empty, because like I said, it was about a week since I fed them last. I didn't want to go in because it was too cold. The sugar water is a 1-to-1 mix by weight. So it's 5 pounds of sugar and 5 pounds of water, which is 5 pints. And it's definitely syrupy, a little bit thick. And it basically imitates the nectar flow that's going on naturally. Try and give them that same type of sugar flow, so that especially on drought time and also during the colder days when they weren't out foraging, gave them some food and also gave them some ability to continue to make wax, so they can continue to grow the hive. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put it on a diagonal, and then I'm going to slowly twist it, hopefully not hurting any bees. You move it slowly and twist a little bit. It gives the bees a chance to get out of the way, so that you don't hurt any bees. Less chance of hurting bees. They're a little excited. I can hear them inside, and that's okay. I'd be excited too if somebody was coming in and tearing my house apart. Not nearly as many bees on top, but I'm sure they'll be working on that and filling it all up. They're working now, creating more little bees. All right. So, I'm real happy with the way that the hive is progressing. They're certainly expanding up into the new brood chamber. They're staying right in the center, and I think they'll continue to stay in the center, and then they'll grow out. Even on the lower box, lower brood box, they've gone fairly wide, but there's 2 frames on the right that they still haven't touched. But they're moving up, and definitely the colony's expanding. I'm very happy, and that's all for today. This is Shawn the Bee Guy signing off.